Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to talk like this the whole time, but I'm very excited to announce all the cast here. They've been so happy to be a part of this, and they're here. So I'd like to get to it. You guys want to hear who's going to be here tonight? Or here? Shannon Woodward as Luke Hemsworth as Stubbs. Angela Seraphin as Clementine. Ben Barnes as Logan. Jimmy Simpson as William. Jeffrey Wright as Bernard. And Evan Mitchell as Dolores. Jonathan Nolan as Jonah. Lisa Joy. Ed Harris as the Man in Black. James Marsden as Cade. Tandy Newton as Maeve. Satori as Hector Estaco. Ingrid Poso Bedall as Armistice. Simon Futterman as Lee Sizemore. And of course, Tessa Thompson as Charlotte Hale. Well, they're all here. Most of them are real. We'll find out at the end, which is not. Panelists, are you ready to panelize? Okay. I have a couple comments to make. First of all, level of detail in the world is incredible. That makes me relax when I watch a show. The way people are holding their weapons correctly, it's really nice. The size of a hat and the way it's worn and the angle of the head of the person, it's a huge deal. Having really believable user interfaces on small tablets, which can fold up to a really convenient size that can be put into a back pocket very quickly. And then throwing away that technology because we don't need to explain that is also a welcome addition. When the actors freeze and the camera continues to pan, but they're still perfectly frozen, it's amazingly well done. There's a little nub on the bottom of the barrel of some of the pistols, which I conclude is a differentiator between androids and humans. Little device there. I'm probably wrong. I just like to say things like that. Basically, overall, I just want to thank you guys for creating a show that doesn't pander or just expect people to keep up with it. It just is what it is, and we go along for the ride no matter how confused we are, which I never am. And then you figure out later on, oh that's why. So anyways, thank you so much for appealing to our higher intelligence. I'd like to start with some formal questions. These are questions that were generated by an AI. And some of them are my own, so hopefully you can tell the difference. And just so you know, this is an AI question. All panelists, if you could alter your own personality with the touch of a button, like Maeve, when she did that, for Hector and Armistice, what would you change? Feel free to.
I'd go able to eat mushrooms, because I don't like mushrooms, and it really gets in the way of a lot of dishes.
You're eating the wrong mushrooms.
I would like surfing more.
Surfing?
Yeah, I feel like that would give me more chill.
Gotcha. You'd like it more?
Yeah, I don't like it, but I'd like to like it.
Okay, so you just like to like it. Okay. I like that. Anybody down there? You can see someone really chomping at the bit.
Sports in general, really. I've never been very sporty.
Okay.
But I kind of like that too. That would be cool.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I wish I was less sporty, smarter.
Well, by saying that, you are those things, just so you know. Jonah/Lisa. Obviously, Michael Crichton was a major inspiration for the series, but what other literary influences helped shape Westworld's unique narrative, POV, and style?
Oh dear. How much time do we have?
2 hours.
Want to go first? I think it's different this all? I think we had different ones. Mine are all the good ones. And
Cheesy one. High-minded, low-minded.
well, it was a good excuse to watch video games. I don't know if that counts as a literary source, but Jonah used it as a chance to get me to play Red Dead Redemption a lot. I'm not very good at it. I can barely get that horse to stay on the road.
That's the greatest excuse I've ever had to play video games. He said, Lisa, we have to play these. This is research. Very important. She said, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto for 6 hours. He said, but have we gotten to the essence of it? Have we found what we were looking for?
I was like hugely pregnant, cruising around Miami, eating popcorn, being like, this is a weird job that we have.
My wife is the only person in the world who obeys traffic signals in Grand Theft Auto.
I wanted to respect the pedestrians. But yeah, so there's video games. There's also, I like a lot of poetry. Last year, Lita and the Swan, the Yeats poem really spoke to, I think, a lot of what some of our protagonists were going through. This year I've been reading Blake a lot. Auguries of Innocence, especially the beginning of it, is really resonant.
Yeah, like I said, all the smart stuff, her. Grand Theft Auto, me.
The combination is Westworld.
That's the formula. The original movie kind of had like a human first perspective, I guess. And in this particular series, I would say, is it okay to say androids? Is that the wrong terminology to use?
Are they androids?
I don't know. Okay,
We don't know how.
whatever they are, it's written from their perspective, and what made you decide to write from that perspective? Was it just the modern age, or what?
I think J.J. Abrams, who you guys might have heard of here.
It's J.J. Brooks.
J.J. called us several years ago to say that he'd been thinking about this for a long, long time as a movie, but wanted to know if we thought there was something here as a series. He started thinking that there was an opportunity to go a little deeper on these ideas. And one of the things that he said to us in that first conversation was, what if we spent a little time in the perspective of the robots? You haven't really quite seen that before. Amazing books and films and TV series that have dealt with these questions, but not a lot of them have, depending on how you interpret Blade Runner, and this is something we're still arguing about, not a lot of them, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, not a lot of them have been grounded in that perspective. But Lisa and I took that idea and kind of ran a country mile with it.
Nice. So I have a question about consciousness. Self-awareness, if you will. That seems to come into play here, and there seems to be a lot of paradoxes that occur and twists that make us feel as though there are moments of sentience, but then that could be programming over and over again. Is there a message that you're conveying about AI and consciousness, and how does that play into Westworld and where it's heading? General question.
I'm still thinking about how I would change my personality.
One of my concerns with the show is how many seasons we can do, because the more we think about these questions, the more it feels like your mind is turning inside out. So it might be for the best for us to just, after a little more of this, just all mutually agree to walk away from it. My perception of reality has shifted significantly since we started doing the show. I've concluded we must be in a simulation of some kind. I just did a tequila shot with Ed Harris in a parking garage at Comic-Con.
Nice.
So jealous.
That was exactly correct. Here's another question. This is for, I guess, the both of you. This is a good place to start since you really know about this show. The soundtrack has a lot of modern music, modern-ish music that's featured in Westworld style. How does that? Why did you come to that, and how does that affect the mood of what Westworld is? Like, how did you want to use that as a tool?
one of the earliest images that we discussed when we were breaking the pilot was that of the player piano, because it seemed like this perfect encapsulation of what the show is about. This mix of, you know, the old and the new, the kind of classical, you know, artistic creation, and also this mechanized, kind of mass-produced quality to it. And so, using the player piano as a kind of touch point was this amazing way to repurpose and recontextualize contemporary music, but in a kind of old-timey way, and like lull us into something that's familiar, yet a little bit, you know, different in that context.
Yeah, I mean, humans are kind of robots too. And one of the things we're capitalizing on there, we're gently reminding you that the show is not in the time period in which it appears to be. But there's also a little bit of human programming that we're manipulating there too. The way that music works, you know, the reason why they play certain songs on the radio over and over and over again is even if you didn't like it the first time, by the fifth time they play it, you might. And so we're, you know, when you use a familiar piece of music, it's a way to very quickly bypass a lot of this and evoke a certain emotion. What we're trying to do with the show is slowly reprogram the entire human population.
Thank you for confirming this theory.
Well, I had a question also about practical special effects, like practical versus CG. It seemed like there's a lot of stunt work, a lot of practical effects. I guess this is more a directional question, but why that way for this particular project?
I think for us, nothing, I mean, the irony of a show where nothing is real in a fake world, you know, there's no better way to do that than reality. It's something I grew up with my brother, making movies. We have an incredible stunt team on the show, incredible, you know, our entire crew is out of control. And they approach every problem from this perspective of how do we make this place real? And again, that funnels into our long-term plan, which is to, you know, franchise the show into a theme park. We broke ground in Western Australia a couple of weeks ago. We're very excited. Season 6 transitions into The Stars Are You.
I also have to take a moment to brag about our actors for a second, because it's really fun and such a thrill to be able to do a lot of things practically, because our actors are so fearless and technically skilled. You know, from everything from the first time Evan rode a horse, she was practicing, and it was one of the earliest times that I really hung out with her. And I was running around with a helmet, like, you gotta be careful, don't slip. And she gets on the horse like she's a robot, and it's just the epitome of grace and style and strength. And then I remember being in Utah with Ed, and Jonah was filming, and we were on this giant cliff, basically, and it was this precipitous drop. And I was like, man, I don't like heights. I don't want to go anywhere near that thing. And Ed was like, yeah, I don't love them either. But he had spent the entire day just like, you know, inches away from the precipice, because he was so committed to kind of just nailing it and showing up for the scene. And we get that from all of our actors every day, every take, and it's an incredible honor. And they're lots of fun while we do it too.
I have a quick question, because this relates to what you just said about guns. The guns in the show they're able to shoot the robots and cause damage. What prevents them from shooting each other and causing damage?
You're just testing your little nub theory.
It's not the nub, Reggie. It's not the nub.
If you watch AI digs this show, though, that's cool, man. These are AI questions, still.
Yeah, these are AI questions. Yeah, it's like Watson. Oh, that's what the W. Okay. Lisa, I have a question for you. Were there any challenges in revealing the character arcs to actors in stages as it chose to? And how do you think this method benefited the series?
To telling them in stages?
Yeah.
In fact, we didn't tell the actors anything. And yet we're still friends. I think we should throw that to the actors.
Yeah, I know. We should see if they forgive us for that. And that's the key question, I think.
Evidently not.
Silence.
I actually respect you more.
Let's keep it going. Click to the left to watch part 2 of the Westworld panel, or click to the right to watch part 3.